Hi guys! So in this video I'm going to show you how I did this look, and I just love it so much for spring and summer nails. They look so cute. So I did GelX for this set. So first we're starting off with a dry manicure. So I'm pushing back the cuticles. And then I'm using my flame bit to remove any of the dead skin that's on my nail. And my e-file is in reverse mode. This is the Melody Susie e-file. So this is the pen type of e-file that they sell. It's portable and has no wire connected to it, and it's rechargeable. I literally use this e-file every day for all of my clients. It's my favorite thing. After the flame bit, I'm going to use my ball bit and go around the cuticles again. And then I'm using my nippers to cut the cuticles. Then I'm using my ball bit again to exfoliate the skin around my nails. Now I'm using my sanding band to buff the entire nail. This is a 180 grit sanding band. And I'm also using the e-file on a very slow speed. I sprayed my nails with some rubbing alcohol and wiped them to remove any of the dust, and then I dehydrated with some acetone, and now I was using Super Bond. This is like a primer, and then I'm going in with my base coat. So I'm just applying a thin layer of the base coat on all the nails and then curing it for 60 seconds. Now I'm going to be applying the tips. So first I am using my soft gel tip adhesive and putting a slip layer on my natural nail and then some on the back of the nail tips. Then I'm applying them at a 45-degree angle and then using my mini lamp to cure it, flash cure it. And then I'm going to do this for all the nails and flash cure all of them. And then once I'm done, I'm going to cure them all in the big lamp for 60 seconds. So before applying the nail tips, I etched each of the nail tips, the inside of each of the nail tips, with my sanding band. I did this off camera, but you have to etch the inside of them so that they don't lift. After I've dried them in the big lamp for 60 seconds, I'm just going to shape them the way that I want. So these were a bit too long for me, so I'm just trimming them down and then shaping them into an almond shape. Now I'm using my sanding band again to etch the top of all of the nails. Before using the sanding band, I had also used my 5-in-1 drill bit to file closer to the cuticle so that the nail tip can blend into my natural nail when it grows out. Now we're going in with the design. So first I'm doing this base color. I'm going to do this color on all of the nails and then dry it for 60 seconds. So I'm doing 2 coats of this color. Now we're starting the design with the pinky. So I'm using this orange to create a French tip on this nail. Now I mixed this custom green color to create a little swirl on the French tip of this nail. Once that's dry, I am using this clear GelX gel from a cart to create my 3D flower. And you have to use a silicone tool to mold your 3D flowers or 3D items so that the gel doesn't stick onto your tools. And then here I create a leaf for this flower. And then once you're happy with how that looks, you're going to dry that for 60 seconds. After that's dry, we're gonna paint in our flowers. So I mixed some of this gel polish with some of Nails by Dev gel paint. I like it when the gel is thicker consistency for painting in 3D designs so that the gel doesn't pool into the center of the flower or of any design that you do. After I do the leaves, I dry this nail for 60 seconds and then we're just gonna add some darker details onto the flower and the leaves. After drying that, I am using my Macart rhinestone glue and adding some rhinestones onto this nail, drying that and then top coating the whole nail. Now moving on to the ring finger. For this nail, I did a white French tip. And then I dried that, and then I am using this baby pink that I mixed and adding some stripes onto the French tip. Once that's dry, I'm gonna add some of my 3D designs on this. So we're doing a small little flower on this nail, and then at the top I'm gonna add a little strawberry. After that's dry, I am going to paint my color into the flower and onto the strawberry. And then I dry that and then add the details onto the strawberry and the flower. And then we're going to add some rhinestones again on this nail. Dry that and then top coat the whole nail. Now for the middle finger, I'm going to use the same baby pink that I had mixed earlier for the ring finger and create a French tip on the middle finger. After that's dry, I'm going to use this green that I had mixed to create a swirly-like design on top of this French tip. I dried that and then we're gonna do a 3D Now I'm painting in this flower with this gorgeous red. And then I dried that, and then we're gonna add some baby pink details onto this flower. Now I'm adding some rhinestones again on this nail and then top coating. Make sure to fully cure also your rhinestones. I just flash cured in that clip, but then I fully cured after that in the big lamp for 60 seconds. Now for the index finger, I am adding this purple French tip first. Then I'm adding a matte top coat. And then I'm using some of Young Nails gel paint to create an ombre onto this French tip. So you want to create the ombre in layers. So after each layer, you're going to dry it, and very thin layers. So I did 3 layers for this nail. And then I dried that. And now I'm creating our 3D flower on this nail. And then after that dries, I am going to fill in the color on this flower. Drying that and then adding some darker pink details onto it. Once that's dry, I am adding the rhinestones. And then I'm using the Macard rhinestone glue to add some texture onto the French tip. And then I'm just top coating and then curing this for 60 seconds. For the thumbnail, I'm going to start with this darker pink French tip. And then I'm using the red to create like a checkered kind of look onto this French tip. And then once that's dry, I'm gonna create like a little 3D butterfly on the thumbnail. And then once that's dry, I am going to use my white gel paint and paint on top of the 3D part. And then drying that, and then I'm going to use the light green that I had mixed earlier to create some of the designs and the details onto this butterfly. And then adding some rhinestones and top coating, and then drying that, and then we're done. And look at how amazing this set turned out. I love this set so much.